r/fake disorder cringe? Is it immoral? Or does it finally help to take away the stigma that has been put on mental illness by social media? We will be finding out in this video. No, I'm just kidding. A lot of people are like, obviously it's a good thing because it exposes these people who are very clearly faking disorders, when at the same time, people who actually have disorders have been posted on there. Are people faking disorders shedding light on important issues, or are they exaggerating and stigmatizing for clicks? Do some of these people genuinely have the disorder? A lot of these videos can attract millions of views, but what is the story behind them? We will be discussing all of this in today's video. Okay, this is low-key one of my very favorite videos on fake disorder cringe. I see why it's up there. But this individual is able to steadily record their tics. Also, these emojis are a very accurate representation of what it's like to struggle with mental illness. People in the comments of Reddit are basically saying that this is making fun of people who genuinely have tics. Also, I see the proof that you have tics, but I guess people on Reddit are saying that the proof that this person has depression are the emojis and the black and white filter. All depressed people just see in black and white, what can I say? This person on Reddit said, "This looks satirical, but part of me thinks it's unironic cringe. Let's all just assume it was satire. Don't read the comments and just move on. We're better off not knowing." I don't have the answer to this, but why are DID and Tourette's the most fake disorders online? Like, we will see really young kids on TikTok faking tics. I understand that faking disorders is like experimental and kind of unfortunately a trend right now, but why these ones specifically? This one I was unsure if I wanted to put in the video because it's like, just because something looks a little sus doesn't mean it is sus. While a lot of individuals with ADHD struggle with sensory issues, not every single one will, but definitely everyone who's faking it online definitely will. I don't know. People on Reddit were wondering why having ADHD would make you have such a physical reaction to a song, and Reddit's consensus is that this person didn't know what SPD or ADHD was. They were just jumping on the bandwagon trend. It's a huge stereotype that every single person with ADHD will be like bouncing off the walls 24/7. Sometimes they can be, but it's definitely not the only symptom. Someone on Reddit said, ADHD is not a reactionary disorder. It's putting the same load of laundry on 3 days in a row because you keep forgetting to take it out to dry and it gets all damp and stinky. It's not cool. Okay, I totally forgot. There are some sensory aspects to ADHD, but for me, it's more about how I can't pay attention to 2 or 3 different things at the same time. I'll listen to music for a bit while working, then suddenly I'll get distracted and turn it off. But then after a while, the silence is a distraction too, so I turn it back on. I wouldn't react to it in any way though. Someone said, lying about having mental illness is a mental illness, just not the one they think they have. They self-diagnose from WebMD, then over-exaggerate those symptoms to get the diagnosis they want. Which is why in the diagnostic process, this is definitely taken into accountability of like, is this person experiencing things that aren't even in the DSM that are part of the disorder, or are they just a blatant copy of what you think the disorder is? But we can never know. I don't know this person. I can imagine that this is offensive to a lot of people who have experienced amnesia. Amnesia can be incredibly frightening and disorienting for a person, let alone being extremely frustrated because you can't for the life of you remember. You might experience a loss of identity, uncertainty, and confusion about your own life, relationships, and personal history. If you struggle from amnesia, memory loss presents numerous challenges in daily life, such as difficulty in performing tasks, managing responsibilities, and making decisions. This contributes to feelings of anxiety, frustration, and inadequacy. People were talking about how this person could, however, remember how to log into their TikTok and record a TikTok, which, okay, fine, I suppose amnesia doesn't have to be a complete blackout amnesia. This kind of gives me the same vibes as someone who fakes psychosis. Someone on Reddit said, I wish that I could force amnesia so I don't have to remember seeing this foolishness. Okay, my bad, maybe that was out of line. Someone said, it's forced amnesia because they're forcing themselves to forget everything despite them having a high chance of remembering literally everything. They're trying to force the non-memory. As someone who has experienced amnesia, I wouldn't wish memory loss on anyone, so this person really irritates me to no end. Wait a second, okay, so forced amnesia is real. The thing is that it's not like you forget your life and personality, it's when you have intrusive memories that are traumatic and you force yourself to ignore/forget them at the time you do a daily task or event. An example is, let's say my BF calls me and tells me his car broke down and I need to pick him up, but during that time I recall a traumatic event and force myself to forget it. I will also forget that my BF said I needed to pick him up. Or you go golfing and forced yourself to forget those traumatic memories that happen to pop up, which also forced yourself to forget about golfing. You don't forget about past memories, but you forget memories as they are happening, if that makes sense, and it's quite scary, I'd imagine. Her video is so insensitive. Someone said, memory loss is scary as F. I was, on something and had the worst memory loss of my life. I kept blanking out mid-sentence, talking to my friend, asking him what I was just talking about. I couldn't remember anything for more than a minute or two. I thought I had permanently effed myself. It was so scary, I thought I lost my memory and was going to go insane. I have no idea why it happened, and I'm so happy to have most of my normal memory back after this. It's really not something you want to wish on someone, let alone fake for a video. People with ADHD commented on this and said that it was offensive because of the, oh, squirrel stereotype. Someone commented and said, this is how someone with actual ADHD might respond to a situation like this. A person with actual ADHD would get distracted in a moment like this. They wouldn't set up their camera and get ready to dance, notice their reflection, and see that their makeup isn't how they want it. They grab their phone and go into their room to fix it. When they sit down in front of the vanity to start fixing their makeup, they decide to turn on some YouTube to play in the background. They notice a new video from someone they're subbed to, open the video and watch it. They notice a different video they like and watch that. Then they decide to sit on their bed because it's more comfortable to watch more videos. But wait, they feel crumbs in their bed and look around at their messy room. Suddenly, they want to change their sheets and run to the washing machine. They clean their room for a while and get thirsty, so they go back to the kitchen for some water. They grab a cup and decide to look through the fridge to see if they want juice instead. Oh, that sandwich from yesterday looks good. I'll just take that and eat it. They go back to their room, forgetting their water, and sit in bed scrolling through their phone. They open up TikTok and suddenly realize it's been 5 hours and they still forgot to do their stupid 30-second dance. They haven't finished cleaning their room, their makeup is even more messed up now, and they're super thirsty. They then spend the next hour crucifying themselves because they promised that today wouldn't be like yesterday and they would finally get some work done for once. They feel guilty for wasting the day and go to bed upset and exhausted because their mind has been running laps. ADHD is maddening. It's not cute. It's ended some of my relationships. That's the reason why I had to work twice as hard in school to get half the retention as the other kids. It's gotten me publicly yelled at by my family, teachers, and coaches. I don't have ADHD, but I do have short-term memory loss. I can't remember stuff, whatever. If that was a diagnosis and somebody came up here and faked that diagnosis, I feel like that's how people with ADHD feel right now, as in, like, I have struggled my entire life for someone to just come on TikTok and be like,
oh, but this is so quirky.
Whereas ADHD is far from cute. You can have risk-taking behaviors, forgetfulness, poor organization, you get easily distracted. That being said, obviously ADHD is not a death sentence and it is okay to have it, but when people are faking it, it's just hits different. Yeah, so a lot of people will end up self-diagnosing themselves with ADHD because they think, oh my gosh, I'm so, jumpy and anxious, I don't know. Because of this, a lot of people who genuinely have ADHD might not even realize it because of how it's depicted online, on TV, everywhere. It's the same thing as if you see a commercial on depression and you're like, I don't have that. And it turns out that the commercial is actually a misrepresentation. People on Reddit are saying that this person made this video specifically because they did research on people faking ADHD and they wanted to correct this notion. People on the Reddit are talking about how people will self-diagnose themselves with disorders such as ADHD and that diagnosis can be very expensive. So if you are self-diagnosing, at least do your research. But my side of that is like, Like, I know that you know yourself better than any mental health professional, but at the same time, what can you do with a self-diagnosis? For example, a therapist can treat you because you show symptoms of a disorder, but it's not like you can get medicated for your self-diagnosis. I don't know. Anyone who's self-diagnosed in the past, let me know. Uh-oh, someone on Reddit said, kind of worrying here because all of those things apply to me 1000%, but I've never been diagnosed with ADHD or anything like that. So either I have it, which I highly doubt, or this video is going to unintentionally start another wave of self-diagnosed people. Obviously, I don't think that was the intention of this person. I think they did an amazing job, and if you self-diagnose yourself based off of one video, it's kind of like, should you blame the person who made the video or the person who's self-diagnosing themselves?
Hey Jesse, I finally figured out how we can prove to everybody this is real.
Okay. How do we do that?
Okay. We're gonna do what we do for fun in our spare time.
Oh, I think I know what you...
Yeah. We're gonna play Pass the Ham.
The smoked ham.
Yes, we're gonna play Pass the Smoked Ham.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Listen, I didn't put Tics and Roses in here for you guys, so you're welcome. But, you know, this was, like, the most liked video of our beautiful friend.
Because that'll show that we can actually move around in the brain, and that we actually know what we're talking about.
Okay, let's do it.
Hey Jesse, so how are you feeling?
Feeling good.
Are you feeling good?
Yeah. Are my eyes red?
I can't see because you have the eyeballs.
I was around when this person was active, and a lot of people with DID were saying that this is outstanding, first of all, how you're able to switch so fluently and have conversation with yourselves. Amnesia?
Oh, you're so cute.
I know, I'm really high. Hey, listen. I own smoked hams.
Yes, smoked hams. Oh, dude, don't pass it to me.
I'm passing it to you. Hey, do you like that now?
Dude.
Okay, alright.
And so all we're doing is we're just moving around in the brain because certain parts of the brain are affected by like certain things differently than other things. So we just...
Yeah, so we just like play. It's like we play tag.
Yeah, it's like we play tag.
And the thing is, even though this was a faraway depiction of what DID genuinely is, lots of people were still believing them. I'm going to assume that they were either vulnerable or teenagers.
I don't know. And now I'm gonna make you the high one. On smoked hams.
On smoked hams. Okay. This part of the brain.
I know, it's really weird, right? Because now you're in that part of the brain and it's like, oh man. So your consciousness can actually move around the brain.
But not actually, dude.
Okay, right. No, it's for... Look, we're not getting into the science on TikTok. They just want to see the goofy shit.
Okay.
They got... Their time is limited.
Okay. Hey, I love you.
I love you too. Give me some of that high. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Hey, and look at that. End of the video. Perfect.
Obviously, people with DID can be actors, but people did find it interesting how this person, you know, just before they started faking DID, were an actress. Someone said, my ex's best friend faked DID, and it got to the point where he forgave them for physically harming him because it was just one specific alter's fault. None of this is okay. I hate when people act like dissociation is a quick 3-second experience and you're all good and dandy. DID fakers are the same people that pretend to be so sensitive about traumas, but at the very same time, they're stealing a disorder that stems from horrific child abuse. Imagine what it would actually be like to have the disorder. You go through things as a child to the point where your mind literally splits because your child's psyche just cannot take it. On top of everything that comes with severe trauma alone, you now have to live the rest of your life plagued by bouts of amnesia, hearing of things your body did and said, and watching and seeing your body do things without you, controlled by other people. That's terrifying. These people have already suffered incomprehensible amounts. Leave them alone. Their disorder is not a show. It's not a valid method of role-playing either. Okay, I agree with everything this person said, except for if you do have DID, it can be a lifelong journey. However, it can get easier through things like trauma therapy. What do you think about r/fake disorder cringe? Do you think that it is a great way to help destigmatize disorders? It can be helpful for a lot of people to be like, okay, so these things I'm seeing online might not be 100% valid 100% of the time. Calling them out won't really do anything. It'll kind of just give them more ammo, make them more angry, along with people being posted who genuinely have disorders. So yeah, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn the bell on if you're feeling risky, and comment below. Thank you so much. It helps with the algorithm. Make sure to take care of yourselves, and peace out.